I can tell you this industry for the past 10 years has actually not changed very much for 5,000 years. So we've been doing this whole thing for quite a while, and I like to say that we've been doing this sort of like, we've been using our wheelbarrows using square wheels. And when people come and tell us about technology, we're too busy pushing the wheelbarrows that we don't really talk about technology. So that's a transformation that we hope that we can actually do something about and really look through it through the supply chain. So the digital transformation is really to enhance trade efficiency, transparency, and traceability. So we really give an example where recently one of our suppliers, friend, who basically lost quite a bit of money sending 8 containers to Singapore, and 8 containers were all rejected. So this is one example of a fruit loss situation. But if we could actually see what was actually packed before it was even shipped, I think a lot of this problem would have gone away. The finance industry, the minute they hear perishable fruits, they run away, right? And because we don't have data to show them, there's nothing we can prove. We just say we sell very good fruits. But to do this, I think we all know that the analog challenge is there. It's a real challenge. We're too busy doing the same thing for a while. So maybe what we have to do is tackle this solution one by one and then be able to provide. We already have many systems in our current place. A lot of it is basically IBM. And in IBM, I take it from a friend of mine, he says, it's better manual, not the IBM that we know, right? Because we use pen and paper. So how do we change this? It takes a long time. So we have to start to digitize before we can talk about the digitalization, before we can talk about digital transformation. So the whole process requires us to actually look at how we can really take the steps, like taking out the documents, changing it in, taking a picture, putting all that kind of stuff. So we really developed this in the past 3 years to really go into that ground. And when you talk about packing houses, you talk about 3G, 4G, no G, Wi-Fi, no Wi-Fi, right? And then the whole training process, it takes a while. But we're happy to say that we're getting quite a lot of traction, and this is really the transformation and showing how it can work. Because saying it is one thing, but doing it is another thing altogether. Now, the analytics comes only when you can get the data. And I have a group of very young people who works with me, and they are so shocked when they come into our industry and they say, oh, you mean you're still doing this? Then we go like, yeah, it is like this, all right? And this is the change. So we got to know the data first, and then we can then talk about the analytics on top of it. What we hope to do is really, like you said, quality control, checks, balances, data, receiver. It all is about being able to close the loop, right? How do we tell the consumers these are the things we do as well? So all this has actually been designed, developed. So what we have is a platform that fundamentally put 3 parts of what our business is all about. We basically have the trade management solution to make it visible. Then what we do is we have the financial services to monetize the trade. So it's not about giving to a bank your financial statement. It's now giving a bank to see exactly what your invoice is, what is it we pack, what is it that we ship, how did the company receive the goods, and then use that data insights to now show what is the numbers that we're doing, right? It takes a while, but it's there. And then finally, we also have our e-marketplace. I like to say it's called the Alibaba on steroids, right? Because really what we deliver is not just the information of the grading score of what we actually ship, but also the receiving score of the credit score of the buyers that you have. And I think there's a lot of opportunity for Latin America to come to Asia, but really the way Asia sees Latin America and Latin America sees Asia is quite similar. We think we are all cowboys, right? But the world is not that bad if we can actually build trust, right? And this is what the platform really wants to do. We have pre-shipment, we do the AI, we do the QC. This is only one part of it that we do. This is where the trade management platform of every single box, and then when it gets to the receiving side, it really shows you what we have as well. Then this is where the marketplace comes in. It's about traceable suppliers and buyers, and then how they use our app to basically be able to go down to the stores. Now, we all know this business, right? You send 1,800 containers, so carton boxes, to a receiver, and then it ended up with like 30 boxes in a supermarket. and then you get a claim from a supermarket saying that something is wrong from that 30 carton boxes. Now, how do you go backwards? And this is basically what are the problems that we've been solving. Finally, the financial services is something that we've been focusing quite a bit. With the AI that you have, we basically now can do a lot of your trades, like which ship goes to where, which port, the risk, the probability of default. All this data is actually now available, and this is really where the AI really comes in for us. It's no longer going through each document, no go through invoice, your PO, verifying all these things. We actually have it all in one system. Finally, I think this is the good stuff that I think we all have to do. I run a listed company, and I'm always told you have to give an ESG report. And guess who writes that report? A lawyer. And what does the lawyer do? He writes a very nice report. But what we're doing is using ChatGPT with the real data that we have to really generate these reports. Right? They have lots of reports out there to show you how a sustainability report looks like. But we don't have the data to give it to that report. And this is where we combine it all so that you can actually do this. This is really where we think it's going to speed up a lot of our work and the insights for senior management. Again, powering this is really what we are all about. 3 pillars of our business, and this is DiMuto. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.